Hey everyone. My mission to find the absolute best fresh dog food for Rosie Barker and Sophie Grace continues. And next on our list is A Pup Above. I've tried enough of these fresh food brands at this point to know two things for certain. My mini schnauzers are incredibly tough critics who will absolutely let me know if they don't like something. And I've really learned over time what actually works for my dogs. Not all fresh dog foods are created equal. And while I certainly expected better ingredients when I placed my order with A Pup Above, I honestly wasn't prepared for just how much food would actually show up at my front door. I decided to go with the larger 7-pound bags to feed both dogs, and when that variety pack arrived, the sheer volume was the first thing that caught my attention. My freezer was completely jam-packed after I finished unpacking the beef, chicken, pork, and turkey recipes. It definitely requires some planning because the bags are bulky compared to the thinner pouches from the farmer's dog. One very cool thing about this brand, though, is that they are actually available in certain retail locations nationwide. A Pup Above also leans heavily into a very unique cooking method called sous-vide. Unlike some fresh dog foods that are just lightly cooked or even raw, this brand uses a restaurant-style method to lock in nutrients and flavor while eliminating harmful bacteria. In terms of appearance, it feels very distinct from standard kibble or even the softer stew-like consistency we saw with JustFoodForDogs. The best way I can describe it is that it looks exactly like a 1-pound pack of ground hamburger you'd find at the grocery store. Each portion is a solid frozen block that you break apart into the bowl, which makes the food firm, less messy, and surprisingly mild in terms of smell. It smells like real home-cooked food without any of that overly artificial or pungent aroma we noticed with the venison recipe from JustFoodForDogs. For the transition, I followed a standard 7-day plan, starting with 75% of their old food and gradually working our way up to 100% of A Pup Above. Even though Rosie Barker has a notoriously sensitive stomach, both girls handled the switch perfectly, with no digestive issues or hesitation at the bowl. After a full week on the new diet, they were so excited for dinner time, cleaning their bowls without picking around a single ingredient. Their energy levels stayed consistent and their stool quality remained steady, which really backed up the brand's claim of having 93% digestibility. Basically, that means more nutrients are being absorbed and less waste is being left behind in the yard. Now, we have to talk about the cost because this is where things get real. A Pup Above runs about $12.83 per pound. For my two dogs, that brought the daily cost to somewhere between $10 and $13 with a subscription discount. But at full price, you're looking at $20 or more per day. When you compare that to the $2.06 I was spending on premium kibble, or even the $7.88 per day for the farmer's dog, it's a massive jump in the monthly budget. Even though A Pup Above delivers on its promise of high-quality ingredients, if we're looking for the best overall recommendation for a fresh food switch, we're still leaning toward the farmer's dog. When you look at the numbers for feeding two dogs, the farmer's dog is quite a bit more affordable. And beyond just the cost, the convenience of the farmer's dog is hard to beat. Their pre-portioned, personalized pouches take all the guesswork and manual labor out of mealtime. Whereas A Pup Above requires us to manually break apart frozen blocks and manage much bulkier storage in the freezer. Don't get me wrong, the dogs love the taste of both. But the farmer's dog provides that same human-grade quality and excitement at a price point and convenience level that feels much more sustainable long-term.